All right, Shalom. I'd like to start by saying, Kal Halayim Le Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Harakak Wadash Ma'amak. Double honors to the elder apostles of the Great Millstone, and double honors to our elder apostle down here in the Lions in Camp of Harawam. Salutations to the Arkin of the pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right, I'm Khanak Sa'am Ban Yashar from the Lions in the Yashar Camp. And this is part two. I got cut off when I was doing it yesterday. This is part two of a lesson um on thou art my battle axe and weapon of war. All right. So let's get back into it. Where we left off was Jeremiah 16 and 16. I'm trying to make it all the way to 21. All right. It says, so we went over this before. It says, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, out of every hole and out of the holes of the rock. See that? That's ultimately, what's going to happen. You know, ultimately, what's going to happen. But right now, we're not in the hunting stage. We're in the fishing stage. See that? So now, that's what we're on the highways and byways doing. Like the House I told Peter and Andrew, come with me, and I shall make you fishers of men. All right. It says, for my eyes, verse 17. It says, for mine eyes are upon all their ways. On Amos 9 and 8. And they are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. Right? It says, and first will I recompense their iniquities and their sin double, because they have defiled my land and have filled my inheritance with their carcasses and the detestable and abominable things. That's going into the idols, right? Right, but check this out. Let me get Jeremiah. What is it? 2:11, I think, or 2:12. 2:11. It says, has a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which doeth not profit. You see that? You see that? So those are the detestable things, are these idols and shit that our people fell a victim of from these other nations. It says, "O Lord, my strength, my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction." Right, and the elect are going to turn to him. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. See that? Dealing with idols. So two-thirds of our people are going to be saying that shit, because they're following the ways of the heathens. The heathens going to be saying that shit too. Surely their fathers inherited lies. Where's, hold on, let me something real quick, real quick. That's going to be said by both. Let me see. Um, okay. This is a Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 6. It says, therefore we have erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness has not rolled upon us. Right. See that? So that's going to be two-thirds of our people in these other nations too. Right? All right. So verse verse 20 says, shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? Right. That's going back in what we just read in Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 11. As a nation change their gods, what are yet no gods? But the two-thirds of the children of Israel have done that. 21, it says, therefore, behold, I will cause, therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know, I will cause them to know mine hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Yahweh. And that's what we're going out on the highways and byways telling everybody, that the Father's name is Yahweh. Son's name is Yahushua. He's coming to judge these nations and judge 2/3 of our people. Literally coming to destroy this place and tear down. Really, he's going against these all false gods, these idols too, man. He's going against the system set up and all the idols from the beginning. All right, this is Jeremiah 28:8. This is our fight. This is the portion of our fight at this moment. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and evil and of pestilence. And that's what we're doing now. See that? It said the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord have truly sent them. All right, but ain't no peace now. Ain't no peace. The the only peace is for the elect, because it's a warning and a way for them to get away from the destruction that's about to come, that the Lord's about to bring. See that? All right. So now, understanding that, once again, Jeremiah 16:6. So the prophets of old, all right, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, this is Jeremiah 28:8 again, old prophesy against many countries and against kingdoms of wars and evil and of pestilence. And that's what we're doing right now. That's us being the fishers, like giving warning and gathering the elect. All right. All right. So now let's get into our battles, man. The first battle, you know, is really the battle in conditioning ourselves to be true soldiers of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. And this is a battle. We'll go to Matthew chapter 4. This is a battle that we fight constantly, daily, that Yahweh Shai had to fight. All right. In Matthew 4:1, it says, then Yahweh Shai led of the spirit unto the wilderness to be tempted, be tried of the devil. All right. This is a battle. All right. To be examined. All right. It says, and when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward an hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, Yahweh, command these stones to be made bread. See that? It says, but he answered said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh, man. All right. So Yahweh by Shemal Shah controls everything. The devil doesn't control nothing, man. The only thing he does is deceive. That's what he was built to do. That's why the word devil means deceiver. All right. So now, with that being said, the Lord is being tempted, right? It wasn't time for him to do that miracle just yet, or at that time, or at all. You see that? And he said, verse 5, it said, then the devil take him into the holy city and seated him on the pinnacle of the temple and said unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest thou at any time thou shalt dash thy foot against a stone. But that's talking about when we get lifted up in the chariots, man. Really. But the Lord rebutted everything with scriptures, man. The same way we do when we're out here teaching. And Yahweh said unto him, it is written, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power, Yahweh. All right. It said again, verse 8, again the devil taketh him up unto an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. So he's seen America, he's seen everything, right? He said, and said unto him, all these will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. That's why we have to put on the whole armor so we can withstand the wiles of the devil, man. See that? It says, then Yahushua said unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord Yahweh, thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. See that? And 2/3 of our people lost that fight, and they submitted to the devil, no matter how they did it, whether it was Christianity, whether whether it was Islam, whether it was agnosticism, or whether it was apologetics, or whether it was what else, consciousness or Egyptology, whatever it was outside of the truth of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that's what was chosen for them, and that's what they chose, right? And they lost the battle. They submitted to they submitted to the devil, all right? It said, verse 11. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. See that? They came down to salute him for the victory, for the victory. So we have to fight this battle, right? Um, we have to fight this battle continually daily. See that? So we have to, like, let's jump down to verse 19. It says, and he saith unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. So we have to follow Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. We have to follow Yahweh Shai to become those fishers of men. See that? But, let's get Psalms. So we have to condition ourselves, right? Go through basic training, become fishers of men. We have to know how you got to go to boot camp to become, you know what I'm saying, in the military. Well, this is kind of the same thing, all right? Because we have to be conditioned to be a true soldier of Yahweh Shem Shai. That's why they're sending you to boot camp to re-alter your mindset to be conditioned to be a soldier for whatever armed forces you're trying to apply for. It's the same thing when you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? Because what? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shema Shai is the God of war. It says Yahweh, Exodus 15 and 3. Yahweh is a man of war, man. See, Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. A man of war is the God of war. You see that? So we have to be conditioned to have that same mindset to be soldiers for the God of war. This is Psalms 51 and 1. It says, have mercy upon me, O Yahweh, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. See it? All right. So we're asking Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai to have mercy upon us, to blot out our transgressions. See that? So, but what did he say? What did he say in Jeremiah 16? He says, for my eyes, Jeremiah 16 and 17 said, for my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. But, but the iniquity of the elect, no, well, the sins of the elect are hid from the eyes of Yahweh through the grace of Yahweh Shai. So when he looks at the elect, he doesn't see the filthy flesh that we're in. He sees Yahweh Shai. He better see Yahweh Shai. Anything that doesn't reflect Yahweh Shai's image is gonna get destroyed, man. Verse 2, it says, wash me thoroughly from mine iniquities and cleanse me from my sins. Right. And how does that happen? Through the washing of the word. Let me get John chapter 15, verse 1. It says, I am the true vine, and my father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, gathering the elect, it says, he taketh away. And every right, because that was that sifting. That was that sifting that we are talking about. See that? That was that what was it called? Hold on, let me find it again. Let me find it again. Was it let me see. Um let me see. I forgot where it was. Well, anyway, I forgot what word it was used in the last one, but like the Lord basically sifting. So the Lord's gonna purge them out, remove the rebels from among the elect. All right. John 15:2 it says, "Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the words which I have spoken to you." See that? All right. This is Psalms 119:9. It says, "Wherewithal shall a young man, right, cleanse his way?" How? How can a young man cleanse his way? It says, "By taking heed thereto according to thy word." See that? So Yahweh Shai is explaining that, oh, now that you're cleansed through the words that I have spoken to you. See what I'm saying? Real quick. Mm. All right. So going back to so now we're cleansed through the words that are, so keep that in mind. All right, Psalms 51:3 says, "For I acknowledge my transgressions and my sins is before me." So once we acknowledge that, we repent and turn back to Yahweh Shema Shai and turn away from sin. See that? It says, verse 4, it says, "Against thee only have I sinned and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest and be clear when thou judgest." So we all are worthy of judge. Whatever punishment the Lord puts on us, we're worthy of that because of our transgressions. It says, "Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me." So we're all born into sin, right? You know, it said, "But behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts," those words that are that are going to be a light to our path. It says, "And in the hidden parts thou shalt make me to know wisdom." Right. So that's the basic training that we go to become soldiers of Yahweh by Shem Shai. To start out by fishing, by showing others the way, the things that was shown to us. Like the elder likes to say a lot. He just got to the water first, and he's showing others that get there later how to drink it. That's all it is. See that? All right. Verse 7, "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow." And the Lord is washing us with his word. It says, "Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice." And that's going into Ezekiel 37, the valley of the dry bones. It says, "Son of man, can these bones live?" And it says, "Prophesy unto these bones that they may live." And that breath, which is the word that made us stand up, right? Now, you know how some of them stood up and having sinews and having, but they didn't having the flesh, but they didn't have the breath. The ones that have the breath are the only ones that are going to be true soldiers of Yahweh Shem Shai. Matter of fact, let's go to that because that's important. Ezekiel 37. Um, let's start at verse 3. It said, "He said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord, thou knowest." Again he said unto me, "Prophesy upon these bones, and say unto these bones, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord." See that? And what did Yahweh Shai just say in John chapter 15, verse 3? "Now you are cleansed through the words that I have spoken to you." So the words that are spoken to us, we speak those same words to cleanse others that will be brought back to become soldiers of the army of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. And it says, verse 5 says, "Thus saith the Lord unto these bones, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live," man. "And I will lay sinews upon you, and bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord." All right. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and there was a shaking of the bones coming together, bone to his bone. That's us coming together, realizing we're Israel, right? And when I beheld, lo, sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them, but there was no breath in them. So not everybody got the breath, man. Right? It said, then he said unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man. So that's us throwing the net and catching whatever fish coming back, and the Lord's going to do the sifting. All right. And say to the wind, thus saith the Lord, come from the four winds. See that? We just read that. Where um was in Jeremiah. It says, uh, prophesy unto the wind, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath came into them, right? The ones that can't have breath to come into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet in an exceeding great army, man. See that? So the word is what woke us up. Revelation 11 and 11. It says, after these days, after three days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which they saw them. They're seeing the army of the Lord being risen up. We're at war, but there's certain conditionings that we have to go through while we're in this war. See that? All right. Psalms 51 and 8 again. It says, make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide thy face from my sins, blot out mine iniquities. And that was done through Yahweh Shai, right? But this is all conditioning that had to be done for us to be true soldiers in the army of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Verse 10, it says, create in me a clean heart, O Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, and renew a right spirit within me. See that? Renew a right spirit in me, because the spirit that was in before was shaping in iniquity. I mean, that we're dealing with the spirit of the flesh, carnally. We weren't dealing with the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai until that breath entered into us. All right. It says, cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. So he all like that goes into every tree that don't bear fruit. The Lord every branch in me that beareth not fruit, Yahweh taketh away. See that? It says verse 12. It says, restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. All right, this is the point. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. That's becoming fishers of men. That's becoming fishers of men. See that? All right, so let's get to Isaiah 41 and 15. It says, behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and make the hills as chaff. Right? We're going to do that spiritually and physically in the name of the Lord, man. We're going to do that physically and spiritually. We just got to wait on our time. So right now, we're doing the spiritual thing. Right now, our fight is spiritual. It's not carnal. So we got to make sure we're fully equipped and fully prepared. This is 2 Corinthians 10 and 3 says, for though we walk in the flesh, We do not war after the flesh. So even Paul was saying we at war right now, man. It said, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh, through the pulling down of strongholds. See, there's nothing more mighty than the word of Yahweh by Shema Shai. Matter of fact, it's Hebrews 4:12. It says, for the word of Yahweh by Shema Shai is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even the divider and the sunder of soul and spirit, and to the joints and the marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intent of the heart. So you can understand and know anything by understanding the word of Yahweh by Shema Shai. All right. Back to 2 Corinthians 10:4, it says, for the weapons of warfare are not carnal, but mighty. We have the most powerful weapon known to man through Yahweh by Shema Shai to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, going back and on to the idol worship, and everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh by Shema Shai, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. You see that? All right, and having all readiness to revenge all disobedience when our obedience is fulfilled. Right, when our obedience is fulfilled, we go out there attacking others. That's why it says, create in me a clean heart. Then will I go teach others thy way, transgressors thy ways, and they shall be converted unto thee. And but it starts with us first. But it's a constant battle every day because what? It's like how the devil tempted Yahweh Shai on the mountain. He tempts us every day with stupid shit like doubt, right? Carnal thoughts. That's why the scriptures say, put away those mortal thoughts, man. All those mortal thoughts of feelings and emotions that causes heaviness on your mind. We're supposed to release those things because we count it all joy in Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. The Lord's burden is light, but the burden of the world, the yoke of the world is so heavy that it fucks up your mindset, man. This world will gaslight the fuck out of you. That's why we have to keep our mind focused on Yahweh Shema Shai in any given situation. You see, just like the devil tempted Yahweh Shai on the mountain, we get tempted like that on a daily. But Yahweh Shai showed us how he got through it, and we follow in those same footsteps, keeping our mind on the word. All right, so we have to make sure that we're fully equipped as soldiers. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. All right, it says, right. So the Lord is our strength. See that? The Spirit of the Lord is our strength. It says, be put on the whole armor of Yahweh that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Right, because like this is a war that's going on, man, and like it ain't all about guns or nothing like that. It has nothing to do with that. We have to keep our mind on guard. We have to be fully equipped with the whole armor of Yahweh by Shemal Shai to be able to withstand the trickery. The wiles means trickery, right? That the devil's going to send our way. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, man. Spiritual wickedness in high places. These are the ones making the laws. These are the ones. These are the ones. All right. Read that one more time. It says, praying always with all prayer and supplication in spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. So we look after each other, man. You know, we look after each other, and we have to. We have to. Let's get a few more scriptures. John chapter 16, verse 16. Is that right? No. No, back to Jeremiah 16:16. Sloppy. So looking after one another. We're gonna go over the scripture over and over again. All right, Jeremiah 16:16. So we're fishing for the elect. We're fishing for the ones. Matter of fact, hold on. I don't know if I can find this in the book of Tobit. Okay. No, it's second Ezra. I thought it was Tobit. My bad. All right. This it says this is second Ezra 8:62. It says, these things have I not showed. This is the angel that was speaking to Ezra. It says, these things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee, and a few like thee. See that? So not everybody's gonna get it. Only his one true soldier that he wants to fight is gonna be able to get it. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, we become fishers of men, gathering those who the Lord, wants to bring back to him. All right. Let me get all right. Yeah, I'm gonna stop it there because next I want to get into when we become hunters. And then I also want to get into next I might go into the economic warfare. Because first the Lord sending the warning out, right? First the Lord is sending a warning out, and then he starts to make his chess moves once that warning goes out. In the midst of the warning going out. It's not like the warning going to stop, but as the warning is going out, the Lord's making his chess moves, man. As a matter of fact, let's get it. Let's get this. Uh, okay. This is Amos 3:6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Ain't nobody afraid now. But when the furnace will start moving, just like, and didn't nobody bat no eye or think twice when Noah was building the ark. But as soon as that first drop of rain came, everybody mindset started shifting. They started becoming afraid. And those raindrops are going to come in the form of economic crash, famine, martial law. We're going to start to see wars, rumors of war, everything. We're going to start thinking those are the raindrops coming down. All right. And then ultimately, the full onslaught of rain are going to be those missiles. All right. Amos 3:6, it says, shall the trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? By us becoming fishers of men, we're blowing that trumpet. Shall there be an evil in the city and the Lord hath not done it? So the Lord's the one that's going to bring this. It says, surely the Lord will do nothing, but he revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Right. See that? So we're going to understand the secrets and know everything that's going to be happening. And we're going to prophesy to those that are able to understand. And those that are able to understand will be able to seek for shelter, but everybody else will be destroyed. But they had fair warning. All right. So I'm gonna stop it right there, and next I'm gonna probably go into the economic warfare. So Lord willing, this lesson to edify the service purpose for the hope of the elect, the ones that truly believe in the name Yahweh Shema Shai. With that, I'm gonna say Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Harikak Radash Ma. Double honors to the elder apostle of the great millstone, and double honors to my elder apostle Herawan as well. Salutations to the argument of pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom.